everyone. Welcome to season 1 of Empower Talk, the gateway to a more empowered and enriched life. Empower Talk is not just a podcast, it's a transformative journey where we bring you inspired stories of success, resilience, and growth. So, before I invite my very special guest today, let me share something about myself. My name is Arpita Chatterjee. I have embarked my professional career at the age of 19 years as a receptionist. Eventually, I reached the position of business head. For last 3 years, I learned from, I'm learning from the very eminent mentors, and now I'm become a certified mindset and life coach. My niche is very simple yet powerful. That is to raise your energy and confidence. So today in my podcast, my very special guest is Mr. Debashish Banerjee. Mr. Debashish Banerjee is a seasoned professional having 34 years of work experience in pharmaceutical and allied industries, literally working across the globe. A behavioral and sales coach with expertise in communication. Presently working with Steadfast Medicine as General Manager, Training and Development, also heading the sales admin and system process and compliance of the group. So welcome to my podcast, Mr. Debashish. How are you?
Thank you. I'm great. How do you do?
Wonderful. So share something more about your journey.
See, it has been a pretty long journey, And when I look into the overall, last 34 years, yes, I have grown in steps and counts. I have traveled, I have worked in different places. Specifically, when I look into my own country, I have worked the entire country. There's no state left where I have not stayed and worked.
Wow.
Apart from that, half of Europe, entire Far East, literally, and except for Pakistan, I have worked literally all the neighboring countries like Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka very extensively. I also had an opportunity in between to launch my own startup with one of my relatives, which was a very different industry than pharmaceuticals. I have been into pharmaceuticals mostly, but in between for about 2 years, we went into a manufacturing of ceramic dyes and colors, which was a very different and a very enriching experience for me. So with that, now I am a certified trainer by Government of India, Ministry of HRD. I'm a behavioral coach, as you know, and my strong forte has been developing sales communication. And that is what I am doing with my present role at Steadfast.
Wow, that's wonderful. And communication is something that is very, very important in professional life. Not only that, but personal life as well. So I just want to ask you that as a behavioral and sales coach, what are the top 3 communication mistake professional often make?
See, the first thing which I would love to bring out here is, Arpita, as you know, many a times, I won't say mistake. It's a very common phenomena which definitely says that when people talk, people communicate, there is a lot of time when people feel that they are putting it in the right perspective, but then, they are not. They are actually not. So there is where the problem arises, and definitely, as you would realize that this is one of the biggest issue. Now, suppose I am wanting to tell something, I want to convey something to you, and I am unable to do so. Why? The reason is probably I am not choosing the right words. Most of the time, we use words which is perceived in a negative connotation. And that is where the problem starts. You want to say yes, you say no. Probably not by the word no, but by your body language, by the words you choose at that point of time. These are the very common things I have seen. Even senior leaders have done that many a times.
Absolutely. Because obviously communication is not only about verbal communication, but the non-verbal communication is also plays a very important role. Right.
Yes, definitely.
So what roles does mindset plays in excelling this in sales and leadership positions, or you can say roles?
That's very important and a very wonderful question.
Thank you.
If I look into it, mindset is the first and foremost aspect of a sales and leadership journey, or rather, in every aspect of life. For people like us who lives in big cities, many a times I have heard people telling me, "Oh my God, you travel so far." I always say distance is a state of mind. Why? If I turn back the pages of history, you'll find people used to travel from east to west in probably bullock cart or horseback. That was not thought of. They traveled the day, they stayed the night. Wherever the night happened, they stayed. And they traveled again. So it is actually, it's a mindset which plays. If I think I can, I can.
Right.
If I think I cannot, I cannot. At the beginning of a sales call, if I think, will he? Will he not? Shall I? If I go, will he accept? I'm always giving my mind a negative connotation at the back somewhere. I cannot. Many a times you will hear people telling, you tell something to somebody to do, and the person says, I will try.
Mm.
When you say, I will try, you are actually allowing the fact that you are going to fail. What means it? I tried, I failed.
Right.
Can you try to throw a thing? Either you throw a thing or you don't. You cannot try to throw a pen.
Right.
So that is where the choice of words happens with the mindset.
True.
Because mindset is everything.
True.
If I think I can, I can. This is all I have to say in here.
Very true. Very true. Absolutely. And when you talk about sales is because I'm also in sales profile. So I know that, we need to be more aggressive, need to be more, like always been extrovert. It's not been like, very, like introvert and all. But youngs when you talk about a youngster, because they are automatically a very aggressive person, so what advice would you give to young professional who want to build a long successful career in sales and leadership? Because it's not about only aggression, I believe, right?
Very true, very true, very rightly asked. See, aggression, when you say it, I put it across in a different line or frame. In sales, it is more of assertiveness which is required rather than aggression.
Right.
The reason why I'll tell you, Arpita, when we look into the perspective of sales, there is a big portion of service attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I sell a product as a commodity or a service. When I say service attached to it, what I want to convey is it's very clear. The after sale service, if it's a service oriented product, if it's a commodity, what purpose does that commodity serves to me when I'm spending that amount of money into it? So obviously, what you need to understand is In sales, it is more of assertiveness which is important rather than aggression. Because as a customer, when I look into myself, I would love to deal with a assertive person rather than an aggressive person.
True.
So this is what it is like.
Amazing. That's absolutely correct. I do completely believe in you. And okay, so we have really done a lot of conversation. Now there's some fun time. Okay, I'll ask you some rapid fire question. Okay, so you need
Oh,
to
sure,
answer in a
sure,
very quick way and one word answer. Okay, you
sure.
can use two three word also, but one word is always good. Okay, okay. So
Great.
tea or coffee?
See, I'm a coffee person.
Okay, one book that changed your perspective.
Uh, I'll park it for the last 1 minute. I'll take a time on that. I'll show you something.
Okay. Morning person or night owl?
I'm both.
Both.
Yeah, I sleep late, I rise early.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay. Biggest myth about sales.
See, the biggest myth about sales which people say is there are many. However, what I say is that it is not the number of calls which makes a sales. It is the quality of each call which makes a sales.
Amazing.
So it is
Absolutely right.
quantity, it is quality over quantity.
Yes. Okay. If not pharmaceutical, which industry would you have chosen?
I would have been a teacher.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful. Okay. One skill every salesperson must master.
Understanding human emotions.
Yes.
Because nothing sells on logic, it's all emotion.
All emotion. Yes. Connection. That is something very important.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
And who inspires you the most in your personal or professional life?
My wife.
Wow, that's wonderful. Better half is good. Okay. So you're talking about some book. You're saying that you want
Yes,
to.
I'll just take a moment
Yeah.
and I'll I have that book here with me, I believe. I
Okay.
was just reading it. I have kept it as a handbook. Uh, there are two books. I won't say no, I have kept it somewhere. There
Hmm.
are two books, in fact, which have given a very different perspective. One, which I got in hand very recently by one of my friend, author, Mr. Sagar Amlani, at
Okay.
the crossroad of life. I tell every young people should read that book at the crossroad of life. It is basically his life story. However, let me share with you that this book is one book which has given me a different dynamics, a different perspective to life. It talks about your positive attitude. It talks about your resilience. It talks about destiny as a whole, and it talks about what a man can do. It is actual story of a rag to riches, and it's a wonderful book. Every youngster should read it, I believe. And the second book, if if you can get a hand hold of on that, it is from uh, an army leader transformed into a leadership coach, Brigadier Bhasin. That's $1 million second. This one book will change your perspective of time.
Amazing.
When we talk about time management, when we talk about you know time as a entity, you will find that this book will change your thought process on time. We all have 24 hours, whether it's you, whether it's me, whether it is Prime Minister or President Trump. But the way we utilize it, the way we spend it, there's a difference. Investing time or spending it.
Wonderful.
So it's a wonderful book. So these books recently I had gone through, but they have changed the perspective of my
Definitely.
thinking.
I'll definitely share both the book name in my YouTube description in this podcast so that people can go through, that read that books as well and get the reference of that.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
Okay. So my next question to you is that as you have 34 years of experience and across the globe, you have traveled also a lot. So what has been the most defining moment of your career? If you'd like to share something.
Yes, the most defining moment had been when the first time I was elevated, the first elevation of my life into the level next as a business leader. That was the most defining. From a medical representative, I rose to the level of a manager, and I had a team to, handle, a team to manage, a team to lead. At a very early age, that was one of the most defining moment of my life. That was the time when I really understood what leadership is all about, what human understanding is all about, and how best you can manage people around you.
Amazing. Because managing people around you is the most sometimes difficult, because you can manage outside people because for time being you are there, but in managing your home, managing your people around is really, really very difficult. And you are well said. That's very important. So, what message you
Yes.
like to give to our audience who will going to watch this podcast once it will be released? So, any message that everyone should know?
Yes, I would definitely want to convey one message. People who really want to come into sales, that is one of the most challenging and one of the most interesting career one can opt for. However, as I said, it's one of the most challenging and one of the most interesting career one can opt for. One should learn to understand human emotion. And that is not only for sales, or any profession for that matter of fact. If you are clear with the human emotion, if you are strong to your own commitments, you will grow in life. So be clear about human emotions, be clear about your commitments.
Amazing. That's really, really beautiful message that you have given. So thank you so much for joining my podcast. And I would definitely share your social media in address, everything in the YouTube description. But anything that you want to say, that how can people can approach you, because I know that you have so much of knowledge, so much of wisdom, and you are also a trainer. Like obviously you are a corporate trainer as well. So if how people can connect with you, and I think
I'm pretty
I want to
active.
ask that
I'm pretty
how
active on social media,
yeah, pardon.
and LinkedIn is one. I'm pretty active in LinkedIn, and that is the only way to connect with me.
Okay, so one question just click in my mind before I'll will wind up, that like as we are corporate trainers, so training is something that is really very innovative thing. So in this corporate training, what exactly, like what kind of topic you are using? Only sales or any of the skills or any other thing also you are doing?
Arpita, I look after both, basically um, Salesforce effectiveness, what we call as. I take care of that. I also take care of the leadership training of my organization to even senior leaders. So here it is basically not only the job profile they are into, it is understanding what to sell, how to sell, when to, where to sell. It is understanding the human nature first. And as I said, as a behavioral coach, I always tend to create modules, tend to create or coach people where they can become better humans first to sell the services of the organization and to keep the organizational ethos in mind, which is very, very important.
Amazing. That's so good. And I really felt so good to, in this podcast, I can get to know a lot of things, as we have already communicating a lot of time. But today, I have seen the different side of you. So thank you so much, been so kind, and you are really doing wonderful in your life. But I'm sure you can do much more. You can share much more of your wisdom and knowledge to more and more, especially the youngest people. So thank you so much and all the best for your life. And thank you once again for joining my podcast.
Thank you, Arpita. Thank you for communicating with me.
Thank you.
Good day.